All right. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am no one. And in today's video, I wanted to talk about first impressions and go through skills for the Rogue. I just wanted to kind of showcase it a little bit, talk to you about it. I've been playing Rogue all weekend. I am up to level 17 and a half out of 25. It's been a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. I think aesthetically, skill abilities, like how strong the archetype is right now aside, I feel like they hit the Rogue very, very well. And I wanted to talk about it in a video. I wanted to showcase what it was. I wanted to showcase some fun combos you could do, different things you could do. This isn't an expert video by any means. I've maybe played this for like 15 hours tops. But I wanted to get this out there. I wanted to talk to you guys about what the Rogue is so far, what it provides, and yeah, kind of go through that and initial first opinions, which, I can always change later. So let's dive into the Rogue. Now, like I said, aesthetically, I think this thing is freaking awesome. This is one of the best archetypes that they have come out with from an aesthetic standpoint. When I think of Rogue, I think of stealth, mobility, and high burst damage, like basically playing a glass cannon style build, surviving on a knife's edge, and if you play well, you get rewarded, and if you play poorly, you get nuked. And that's what Rogue kind of feels like right now when I've been playing it, when I've been leveling it. And so going through different skills and abilities, we have Thump, which is a CC. It applies Dazed and Silenced. I haven't been using this yet because I've just been leveling, so I've just been dishing out damage. Don't really need to use this for what I've been doing. Lacerate. Lacerate is a good skill. Deals 75% physical damage and applies bleeding. If the target is already bleeding, instead it applies hemorrhaging. This ability consumes advantage. For those of you guys that don't know, the resource that you gain by doing different skills and abilities for a rogue is advantage, and you get some really fun stuff. And so this is one of those abilities that consumes it. It is a good skill. If you consume advantage, it hits all targets in front of you for a melee range for 150% physical damage with a normal AoE fall off. It is a good skill. I used it quite a bit. What I would do is I would hit throw, which is another bleed. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then I would hit this to proc hemorrhaging. And so you'd get 2 dots going, and then you'd start applying your burst damage onto something that was just dot ticking like crazy. And yeah, it was really nice. I took it off only because I've been messing around with Shadow Cascade, which is really fun. In my opinion, this is just one of the coolest looking skills in the game. Very effective, but I've been trying to figure out how to utilize this better. And so I've been messing with Shadow Cascade. That's the only reason Lacerate is off my bar. I wanted to keep advantage for this, and so this other stuff that consume advantage came off. And so because of that, I put Acrobatic Strike on. Quickly strike your target 3 times for 33% physical damage. Flipping to the other side of them puts your target off balance. Cannot move or rotate for 3 seconds. If your target is facing you upon activation, gain advantage. And so, like I said, that's Grapple Hook. That is another cool skill. When I hit skills that gain advantage, right now I hit my cloak. You see the bar around here on the meter, it went halfway up. I now have advantage and I can utilize that. So I'm going to come up here. I'm going to hit this guy with a dot. I'm going to draw his attention. And what I'm going to do for the acrobatic strike is I'm going to activate it here, and it literally is just that. And then you can get behind him and you can activate your other skills and abilities. We're just going to kill him real quick. But yeah, it's a good skill. It allows us to stack some advantage, and then we can, do some fun stuff and get the kill off. And so, yeah, that's what Acrobatic Strike is. The next skill that we have is Feint. Feint I'm using currently as a gap closer. Dash behind your target with a fainting strike, dealing 70% physical damage. You gain Guile, base evasion increased by 20%. On your next weapon combo finisher, gain advantage. And so, this is a gap closer style skill. That's how I'm using it to gap close in. You can have a passive that allows you to flip away, kind of like what Ranger has, but I'll dot up and then I'll gap close in and then I'll jump over, and then maybe we'll go behind him with a couple backstabs, and then we'll go like this, and we'll apply our bleeds, and then we'll go like this, and now we'll gap close once again. And so yeah, that's literally what the gap close is. It works well. It works well in helping to stack advantage. It works well to close the distance on people. It's a nice skill. The only issue with it right now is every once in a while it bugs out, where it kind of feels like who you're targeting. Sometimes it misses and you will launch yourself past the target off into the distance. And so yeah, alpha things, shit happens. It is what it is. But yeah, hopefully that gets fixed. When it does work, it works pretty well. I'm using the passive where it resets the cooldown of Feint when you use Backstab. I think this is the better one. I don't like the backflip one because, like I said, I use this as an offensive skill burst right now. Flurry, quickly strike your target twice for 50% physical damage. Gain Flurry, physical attack speed increased by 10%. Last 6 seconds, can be extended up to 12 seconds. Weapon combo finishers grant a charge of Flurry. And so if we go and we find a Scorpion, which is a little bit easier to kill, we're just going to pull this little guy over here. Flurry is number 4 in my skill bar. That's that skill. And so what we're going to do is we're going to dot this guy up, which it's going to miss. And it's going to miss again. He's going to jump at us. Flurry's right here. And so it's a nice little spammable. And like I showed, it like just allows you to strike faster. And it is very nice for that reason. Once you get Flurry going in your combo finishers with your other skills and abilities, like things, it feels very fun to play. The archetype feels really fun to play because your skills are just coming out so fast. You feel like an adept blades person. I'm obviously using a greatsword. I don't have good daggers yet, so I'm sure that entire RP version of the rogue will come into play later. But yes, it is very nice. Thrash deals 80% physical damage to your target. This ability can be activated up to 2 more times in a short time frame for increasing damage. However, you must activate another ability before it can be recast. Third and final strike will apply bleeding to your target and grant advantage to yourself. Thrash does not interrupt your weapon combo. So Thrash, also a good skill. Most of these skills are pretty good. So we are going to come over here. We're gonna hit a Shardling. We're gonna apply our dots. We're gonna jump behind him. Maybe we'll hit a backstab. Maybe we'll flip over him. And then it's an uppercut style ability. Now every once in a while we have a bug right now where our weapons are disappearing. I promise you that's not part of the rogue toolkit, even though it looks like it. We're just kind of hitting here, waiting for our uppercut to. Not an uppercut, but it looks like an uppercut. And yeah, it's not a bad skill. It just kind of rotates. It allows you to stack a little bit more advantage. Not a bad skill. It can go on your bark and come off. It applies bleeding. I have other forms of bleeding. It's not a big deal there. But yeah, I wanted this for advantage. Soothing Shadows is a passive. When I cloak, now that I've taken a little bit of damage, it now heals me a little bit for 226 a tick. Now this depends on your overall gear. Right now I am very geared. I have a lot of my ranger gear on, and so there's some stuff that I don't have on yet. I just got to wait to get to level 20. This is not the healing that you're going to get when you're starting out with, unless you have good gear also. And so it is good. I think in general, when you think about a rogue, you think about skirting along the back lines, you think about trying to backstab enemies and stuff. You're going to be out of the range of healers and stuff, so having a little bit of passive healing makes sense. With how cloak works, you can't cloak in front of people's faces. You have to actually have some mobility. You got to use it wisely. And a 336 heal in the current state of the game is not going to stop anybody from nuking you. Like it's not going to stop anybody. And so it's a cool heal. It's a nice heal for grinding mobs and everything. It makes it a lot easier to do stuff like this. But yeah, that's my overall first impression on it. We go up a little bit farther. We have Double Strike. Strike again with the last used melee ability from this list. Stab, Lacerate, and Thump. And so if you look down here on my bar, I have Stab here, which is a backstab. You can stab an enemy from behind. If I use this, I can also get off with Double Strike, I can utilize it again over here. And this skill and ability will change based off of whatever skill I used last. And so when you're looking at my bar, that's why that skill is changing. So if we pull this little guy over here, we will teleport behind him again when he comes lunging out at us, and we'll backstab and we'll show what that does. So we'll backstab into that, and then we were able to activate a backstab once again. And so he turned around fast enough to where we couldn't get both backstabs off. I wanted to show you what that looked like. But yeah, it's really good. When you're facing off against Minotaurs, you can get double stabs off. Bears, really easy to get 2 double stabs. But yeah, you can utilize Lacerate too. So Lacerate's another skill. Like it showed, if you apply a bleed, if you did this again, it would apply hemorrhaging. So that's another way to stack bleed dots, is if you use Double Strike with it. Pretty cool. Attacking out of stealth grants Guile. For those of you guys who don't know, Guile is base evasion increased by 20%. So nice little skill. You come out of stealth, you're a little bit tankier. You're avoiding incoming hits. Shadow Step. Shadow Step is my favorite skill in this game. This reminds me of the Undertaker meme, where Undertaker is like standing behind another wrestler. This is the skill that I've been using quite a bit. I think this skill is so freaking cool in general. So we're gonna come over here and we are going to once again attack this little guy. And then when he shows up, we are going to teleport behind him, which is what we've been doing. We've been shadow stepping on creatures. Once again, weapons are bugged. Shadow step behind him, and now we got 2 backstabs off, and he's dead. So very, very cool skill. Really useful, you know, teleporting ability to get behind to dish out a lot of damage with your stabs. Tough for mobility as well. Just a very, very fun skill to use. Over here, we have our different types of poisons that we can use. We have chilling, we have draining, we have withering, and we have wounding. And so chilling, obviously it applies chilled. It also applies poisoned. You can utilize that. I've been utilizing draining to have my mana going. I don't think I need this, but that's the one that I have been using. You can go withering, which applies weakened and dazed, which a little bit more bursty if you wanted to utilize that. And then you have wounding, which I'll probably use in PvP because wounded, reduced healing is always very, very nice. But right now I've been using draining for mob grinding, and that works out pretty well. And then I've been stacking it with sap. And so what happens is stab your target with draining dagger that deals 50% physical damage and applies sap. Deals 8% necrotic damage every 1.5 seconds for each stack of poisoned, and heals the rogue for the same amount. Lasts for 8 seconds. And so this is a little bit of healing that you get. So as long as you're activating your poisons like this, and you have a poison on an ad, and then you hit them with sap, you will get a little bit more healing coming in as well. And so I'm going to stack it once again. So we stabbed ourselves with a poison, and now this creature is poisoned. When it comes up to us, he's going to jump out. We're going to hit him with the sap. He's now blocking, and now when we hit abilities, because he's poisoned, we are going to get some small heals off because of it. And so yeah, that's just a way to have a little bit more incoming healing when you're fighting bigger ads and everything. Very, very nice synergy here. I like the use of poisons on a rogue. I think it makes a lot of sense. It'd be cool. No, that's just my first impression. I'm not going to make additions yet until we play more. Throw. This is my opening bleed. This is what I start with. Throw a spinning blade at your target to deal 100% pierce damage. You guys have been seeing me use this. This is the dagger that I've been throwing in order to activate a bleed. And so that's what I've been doing there. Very, very useful skill. Very nice for the opener. Like I said, I'll do that, and then I'll go in with a lacerate, and that will hit with hemorrhaging. And it is, like I said, it's nice. It's nice. You start getting a lot of bleed damage going. We're gonna throw this away. We don't need that. So that's what we have so far. I'm just stacking some glint here, just so we can collect all the glint that we have. Where were we at? Oh, we were over here. You can have some passives here. Hit 2 or more targets. The final target is afflicted with unstable compound. I don't have enough skill points yet for passives. Obviously, like I'm at 17, I've been trying to get the skills and abilities, but that's important. That's a good passive. Throw's base damage is increased by 25%, and throw can now bounce up to 3 additional targets. So also a cool way to stack a bunch of bleeds onto some creatures. I don't know who he thinks he is. Now you're gonna die an anime death, buddy. I'm sorry. That's what you get, though. That's what you get for trying to interrupt my video. Those are those skills and abilities down here so far. Once we get over here, a lot of these skills at the top I haven't utilized yet. Grappling hook. This is just a really cool mobility skill. I utilize this. Obviously, this is how you can kind of fly around and do some fun stuff. We're on flat ground right now, so I can't. Oh, we might be able to utilize it over here on the rock. So the desert's a little buggy sometimes. I haven't done this over here yet. If I get stuck in the rock, this is your guys' fault for me trying to show you how this works. But you got to get close enough. You throw a grappling hook, and you can get up onto higher ledges and whatnot. It is a very fun mobility skill. If you're on flat ground, you can also throw at a distance. And so what I'll do with this, I'm going to wait for it to come back. But what I'll do is if I'm taking too much damage and I'm trying to get away from a creature because, I pulled a little bit too much, with how cloak works, like let's say I'm right here, right? And I try to cloak in front of this enemy. It says caster is observed and cannot enter stealth. So I can't enter stealth because he can see me. So if I'm fighting him and, I'm having issues staying alive because I'm a bad rogue and everything, I can hit my grapple hook. Oh, Of course he trips me as I'm trying to hit my grapple hook. So let's wait. We're gonna kill this one, but what I can do is I can grapple hook away, and then I can hit a dash. And when I hit that dash, what happens is I get enough distance to where I can activate a cloak versus NPCs. And so we'll get our health back, and hopefully we won't get tripped this time. That was really disappointing. That was really disappointing because I was, this is all supposed to work on the first attempt for you guys. This is all supposed to work perfectly every single time. So he's attacking me. I can't cloak. Caster is observed. I hit this, and I dash, and then I can cloak and I can get away. And so that's a way to break distance. Once you get a certain distance away, they can't observe you. It's a really nice way to enter into stealth to get some distance. And so you can use it on flat ground. You can use it on elevation. Very, very good for ads. I think this is going to be awesome for PvP in general as well. Like I said, like Rogue is now up there with Bard for overall mobility, and it's quite fun. And so, yeah, very, very fun skill to use. Highly recommend trying it out. I have not used caltrops yet. Smoke bomb. We could talk about caltrops. Throw out a field of caltrops to target location. Enemies that move through this field will rapidly take 20 to 35% pierce damage, become snared, and have a chance to be dismounted. Sorry, work in progress. Last 10 seconds. Looks like a good skill. I just haven't gotten there yet. Like there's just some skills I haven't used yet. Smoke bomb. Throw a smoke bomb down beneath you that lasts 10 seconds. While within, you gain blurred. Here. We'll do the smoke bomb and then we'll go back to caltrops. But yeah, while within you gain blurred, basic evasion is increased by 25%. Enemies within are periodically afflicted with blinded. Base accuracy reduced by 25%. So smoke bomb is a way to confuse your opponents. So if they're fighting on your terms and you drop a smoke bomb, it helps mess things up for them. It's tough to see in it, which, that's the entire point for a smoke bomb. I know you guys are shocked, but he's coming at me. I'll drop a smoke bomb here. So now I have base evasion of 25%. He's now blinded. You see we already get a miss. We get 2 misses. And yeah, this is another way to stay a little bit tankier via, instead of just base mitigation where we have evasion stacked with it. If we take this off, can we take this off? Come on, big. Oh, it's on cooldown right now. So we're on a 2-minute cooldown, so I can't take this off until that's done. But yeah, that's what we have. And then if we go into here, you have 2 tool belts. If you do the padded tool belt, your tool abilities can be used without breaking stealth, but increase your chances of being detected. Throws, sleep dart, poisons, all these can be used in stealth. Pretty cool. I'm using the expanded tool belt. Your tool abilities have an extra charge. So all these different abilities, they have different charges on the bottom, so I can stack more of them, which is what I'm using it for. So come on. There we go. I don't know why I was doing that. Anyways, I like the expanded tool belt right now, spamming more abilities, leveling up. But I think in PvP, I could see you easily making a case for the other one. When the cooldown ends, we'll get rid of this and we'll try caltrops and show you what that is. Then we have adrenaline, movement speed increased by 50%, max stamina increased by 50, lasts for 5 seconds. I will be trying adrenaline also, but right now for killing mobs, I haven't used it yet. I don't have any impressions on it. I don't even know what it looks like, to be honest. So maybe we'll try this here as well. And then the coolest skill that I've used so far is Shadow Cascade. So this one uses a lot of advantage. Dash 20 meters forward through your enemies. After a short delay, deals 150 to 300% necrotic damage to each target hit, increasing based on the amount of missing health on the target. All targets hit suffer bleeding. Targets that are poisoned become exposed. Targets below 50% health also suffer hemorrhaging. Like, this is just so much pressure at lower health. Requires and consumes advantage. This is the coolest. Out of all the cool skills that exist on Rogue, I think this is the coolest looking one. And so if we're going to come over here, sorry about this. I got to find something with a little bit higher health so I can kind of weave on them a little bit. And then when I weave on them, then I can activate that ability. So we're gonna come over here. We're gonna pull a shardling off in the distance. But yeah, like I said, I think aesthetically they hit on the Rogue very, very well. And this is another one of those skills that I feel like they hit. And so I'll kind of talk through my overall weaving combinations that I do and whatnot. We want to make sure we're away from the berserkers because, not because I'm afraid of them or anything, not because, they're going to absolutely destroy me, but because we're testing something. Okay, guys, like that's what we're going to do. So I open up, I hit myself with a dart. I then hit them with a bleed. I start pulling them in. When they start charging me, I'll come behind and I'll backstab. When they turn around, I'll jump over. And now that they jumped over, you see I have advantage. I can dash through them, and it's a ton of burst damage. And now they are just ticking and bleeding, and it is very, very nasty. Now, this one wasn't at below 50% health. I can wait again and show it to you, but it's so much fun. Like, you dash through a group of ads at around half health, you turn around and they just blow up. I've hit this on bears for as high as like 2600. It is extremely bursty at low health, extremely bursty. You just got to make sure you have your advantage. One way to do that, obviously, enter stealth. You see, once I enter stealth, I get the little glow that says I can utilize it. Don't use other skills that also do it. Acrobatic strike, the enemies have to be facing you in order for this to work. You acrobatic strike over the top of them, and then when you do that, then you could turn around and dash through them. So that's an easy way to make sure that you always have the utilization of this ability. But it is very, very effective. It's one of the few skills in the game that in the archetype that you have that actually does AoE. And so if you're mob grinding, this is very effective for that. I could see this being very good in group play. Like, people are piling on a group. You come in from stealth on the side. You're cloaked, so you already have your advantage built up. And then when you see somebody rooted, you come in with this, and there's just they're hemorrhaging. They're taking a shit ton of damage. I could see this being very, very good in that situation. So we're gonna wait until this cooldown ends, and then we'll utilize it again. So yeah. So if We'll dot this guy up. We'll apply our poisons. We'll apply the bleed. We will dash behind them. We'll jump over the top. We'll hit him with a few things. We'll make sure that his health drops. We're going to hit him with a few flurries. Now he's below. And so when we dash through him and turn around, see, like, instantly nuked. Like, instantly nuked. And that wasn't even a crit. That was a 1200 non-crit. So hits very hard, very fun to use. You kind of feel like an anime character hitting this. And I think like I said, I think they hit this perfectly. Umbral Cloak. I haven't used this yet. It already looks powerful as shit. Magical evasion increased by 80%. This basically just says, fuck your bards, fuck your clerics, fuck your mages. 80% evasion for 8 seconds. Consumes advantage to clear all damaging debuffs and crowd control effects and put your character directly into stealth. So very cool mobility skill. I could see this being very useful. Like, this is more of a group-based skill. This is more of a solo-based skill. Like, being able to remove enter stealth, go back to hitting your single target abilities, gain advantage through that, and if you get pressured, you go back and you hit this. I could see that being very useful. So in group-based parts of this game, I'd utilize this. In small group-based PvP, I'd probably utilize this, just because you don't want too many different forms of consuming advantage, because, you know, if you really need it, you want to have it. But yeah, that's kind of how I would look at it. If we get rid of Smoke Bomb and we put Caltrops on, I could show you guys what Caltrops looks like. There we go. We'll confirm changes here real quick. We'll pull him over. He's going to move over here very, very slowly. Very slowly. And now we throw out the Caltrops. Oh, and you see he's snared. Oh, those are cool. Yeah, so it's a bunch of the little Caltrops. That's pretty neat. I hadn't seen that before. So yeah, those are the Caltrops that you have. Now you have another active skill slot for your different poisons up here. And then up top we have Death's Mark. Now, I haven't used this yet. I haven't gotten the skill points to get there, but your target is afflicted with Death's Mark, marked for death by a rogue. The way it reads, it says you take 10% more damage from their attacks, lasts for 1 minute. After their first attack, the duration of this debuff is set to 30 seconds. Killing your marked target will reset the cooldown and heal you for 50% of your max health or your target's max health, whichever is lesser. Death's Mark is only usable while stealth and has a minimum range of 15 meters. So this looks like a fun skill to try. You're going to take 10% more damage. The entire point with a rogue is to not take any damage to begin with. So like a well-played rogue isn't taking damage. And so utilizing this allows you to, you know, you give them the opportunity to do 10% more damage to you. But when you kill that thing, you get a 50% heal. So 50% of your max health or your target's max health, whichever is lesser. And so right now I'm at 3K at around level 17. So I'll be in the 4K range. So this should be roughly a 2K heal, fully maxed out. And then Cold Embrace, Death's Mark applies chilled upon initial application. If the target is already chilled, they instead become frozen. Left shift, chilled movement speed reduced by 50%. Lasts for 6 seconds. Duration can be extended up to 15 seconds by subsequent applications. So chilled, slow movement speed, huge snare. Frozen cannot move or rotate for 4 seconds. So yeah, pretty nasty effects. And we have another passive up here. Ruthless, stab and lacerate have no cooldown when used with 2 stacks of advantage. Oh my goodness. So yeah, once again, this is just another passive. 2 stacks of advantage would be like this. So right now I have 1 of the 2. So half of it is 1 advantage. It has to be a full bar of advantage in order to utilize that, in order to have no cooldown on backstab. So a way to just spam a shit ton of damage. Let's go through here. We can activate a few skills for you guys now that we have things off of cooldown. This, like I talked about before, this is Adrenaline. Movement speed increased by 50%, max stamina increased by 50, lasts for 5 seconds. So let's try this out. Oh, gotta save it. So we are going to come out of stealth. If we activate this skill, you see we're just so much faster. And now we can dash. Wow, that is very, very fast. So yeah, another escape tactic that you could utilize. You get enough distance, you can obviously activate Cloak, get back in the shadows, and then come back. And so a lot of mobility in here, a lot of mobility in the kit, a lot of snare capabilities, a lot of high burst damage. Exactly what I would want in a rogue. Now, overall, first impressions, this archetype is super fun, guys. It is super fun to dive in and out of the shadows. I feel like they nailed a lot of different things. Before my initial impressions, I have not PvP'd at all. Like I said, I don't have initial thoughts on PvP. I will say some skills in their tooltips look really freaking strong from the PvP perspective, namely like 80% evasion. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these skills get adjusted, but before I call for adjustments, I would like to, test it in PvP first, and hopefully I'll be able to do that in the next couple weeks when I get up to level 25. So overall, this is a very fun archetype. Oh, the other thing also, when you're stealthed, or when you gain advantage from stealth, your dodge roll now allows you to dash, and it consumes less stamina than a dodge roll. It gives you more distance, and it allows you to get further distance. And so, like I was showing before, like if I was fighting this thing, because I'm definitely not scared of him. I'm not going to attack him right now, only because I don't want to. But let's say he attacks me. I can use a grapple hook. I can get the distance here. I can cloak, and then I can start dashing, and then I've gained so much distance, and now I'm cloaked, I'm out of range, and now I can come back and open and choose to fight on my own terms here with this. And so a lot of, like I said, a lot of mobility built in the kit, a lot of damage, really, really fun. I think they nailed it, guys. I think they nailed this. No notes from the rogue perspective. I'm gonna end this video here. If you guys have any questions or comments, please provide it in the comment section below. Let me know what you think of the rogue. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.